For most of human history, Earth was never home to just one human species. Did you think Homo sapiens had always been alone down here? Wrong. 6 human species walked the Earth together. They lived on different continents, often never meeting. Some stronger than us, others tougher in the cold. Today, only one remains, ours. How did we survive while the others vanished? Then something changed everything. Forever. For hundreds of thousands of years, it stayed wide open. Let's find out who they were and why you're the last of 6. Homo erectus appeared nearly 2 million years ago in Africa. He was first to leave Africa. Toward Asia and Europe, he built simple shelters and may have controlled fire. Then the Neanderthal, Europe's giant, built for extreme cold. He could light and control fire, even deep in an ice age winter. For hundreds of thousands of years, he ruled Europe. Sloped forehead, heavy brow, different from us, not stupid. In Asia lived the Denisovans, a species we barely know. For years we knew them from one clue, a finger bone, found in a Siberian cave, Denisova cave. From that fragment came the discovery of a whole species. An island in Indonesia hides an even wilder surprise. Homo Floresiensis, 1 meter tall. They call it the Hobbit. Despite its size, it hunted and used stone tools. In South Africa, the discovery came just a few years ago. Homo Naledi lived in caves nearly impossible to reach. Dozens of skeletons in the same spot. No coincidence. 6 species. 6 different ways of being human. Neanderthals weren't brutes. They knapped stone with precision. They lived in small groups, gathered around the fire. They cared for the injured, even when no longer useful. They buried their dead, sometimes with flowers. Very human. Erectus built the first rafts to cross water. He hunted huge animals with coordinated strategies. Denisovans even lived at extreme altitudes. Their bodies adapted to cold and thin air. Floresiensis, though tiny, made fully functional tools. It lived in small jungle groups, managing fire. Homo Naledi carried the dead through tiny tunnels. A behavior scientist still struggled to explain. Sapiens painted cave walls with vivid colors. Tools grew more sophisticated. Generation after generation, sapiens organized into increasingly large groups. At some point, sapiens and Neanderthal territories overlapped. A surprise, the Neanderthal brain was bigger than ours. Bigger, not smarter, but enough to make us wonder. When sapiens left Africa, the world was already occupied. Crossing unknown lands, they reached Europe. There, they met the Neanderthals for the first time. Not always peaceful. There were tensions and clashes, but sometimes, surprisingly, exchange and coexistence too. From that came something that changed our DNA forever. Sapiens and Neanderthals interbred, literally. Today, many of us still carry that ancient DNA. The percentage varies by region. In Asia, sapiens also met the Denisovans. There was mixing with them too, passed down to today. In Melanesia, Denisovan DNA is even more present. How much you carry depends on where your ancestors lived. Some of those genes still strengthen the immune system. Red hair and pale skin sometimes trace back to that. Even allergies might be a Neanderthal legacy. Our family tree is more tangled than it looks. We don't come from one line, but from mixed species. So why, In the end, did only we survive? One answer is climate. Earth entered a harsh ice age. Neanderthal groups shrank, isolated, and fragile. Sapiens, meanwhile, kept expanding. Our villages grew, their camps stayed small. We had better weapons, like bows and arrows. They still hunted with simple, far riskier spears. Another theory: natural disasters, devastating eruptions, volcanic ash darkened the sky and wiped out ecosystems. The last Neanderthals took refuge in Gibraltar. Diseases carried by sapiens may have played a role too. Our immune system was perhaps better prepared. But one theory is winning over more scientists. Neanderthals may not have gone extinct. We absorbed them. Generation after generation, their DNA diluted into ours. The same fate likely befell the Denisovans. Floresiensis vanished too, maybe from island changes. Homo Naledi remains the most mysterious. How it vanished. 5 out of 6 human species vanished from Earth. But here's the twist you weren't expecting. If you're not of African descent, you still carry Neanderthal DNA. About 1 to 2% of your genome on average. Only sub-Saharan Africa has almost no trace of it. In the rest of the world, those traces are everywhere. Millions of people carry a piece of another species. A simple DNA test can reveal exactly how much you have. Part of our immune system comes from extinct species. In a way, the Neanderthal never really disappeared. It still lives on, inside millions, maybe even you. 6 species, one story that lives on in all of us. If this story surprised you, hit subscribe. Here we tell humanity's real story, one episode at a time. Next episode, one of the giants of the Ice Age. A hint, it had the longest tusks you've ever seen. 6 species, 1 planet. Which story comes next? Subscribe now so you don't miss it. Realm Span will be back very soon. See you next time on Realm Span.